Okay, everyone, good morning. Thank you for joining us. We're pleased to be joined today by Senators head coach DJ Smith. Please use the raise hand function if you'd like to ask DJ a question. We'll start this morning with Gord Wilson at TSN 1200.
All right, thank you, Coach. Obviously, a long wait for this. Did you get a sense in the locker room this morning that there was a different air of excitement amongst the players?
Yeah, for sure. You're playing a team of caliber of Toronto that certainly you'd always have the buzz anyways playing them, but the fact that it's our first game, there's some high-end players over there, and there's some guys on our team that are, playing their first game. So it's definitely a air of excitement for sure in that room.
Is there a different approach that you take for the young players, the Josh Norrises of the world, the Tim Stützles, obviously, going into a game like this?
I think less is more. Less instruction. You gotta go out there and play. I think both those kids are going to play a long time in the National Hockey League, so they're going to remember starting on opening night tonight for a long time. But I think sometimes you got to feel it out and you got to let them play a little bit.
You started last year, sometime near the end of the season, by not announcing your starting goaltender. Will that trend continue here, or should we?
Yeah, no, we won't announce our starting goalie all year. We'll keep that in house, and we'll see when puck drops.
Bruce Garriock, Coach Media.
Hey, DJ, I just wondered what your advice would be to, and I got a few questions here. What your advice would be to a guy like Tim Stützle tonight in his approach?
You know what? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just go out there and play the game that you love. There's a reason you were drafted where you're drafted. We know you're a special player. We're not basing your career on your first game in the NHL. So go out there and do what you can to help the team win, but don't put too much pressure on yourself.
It certainly looks like Colin White's going to sit. Just what's the decision there?
Yeah, Colin's not going to play tonight, as well as Galchenyuk and Mike Riley. Ultimately, that's my decision at the end of the day. I think the four centers ahead of him right now have had very good camps. Not to say Colin didn't have a good camp as well, but I think sometimes penalty killing and power play situations play into it. What roles guys fit into, and there's 56 games. There's going to be guys in and out all the time. I know it's a big story today, but Colin's going to help us win hockey games and be a part of this going forward.
This is just a question. You chew gum behind the bench all the time. Are you going to be able to chew gum with a mask on?
You know what? I haven't put much thought into that, but we'll try it early tonight and see what happens.
Thanks.
Rob Wallace, TSN.
DJ, you guys certainly added some muscle here over the off season. Will that be a bit of a plan tonight? Is to push and use a physicality type approach when you're playing the Leafs, at the same time trying to stay with the box?
Yeah, that's a tricky part. I mean, their power play's certainly as good as anyone in the league. They've some high-end players over there. But in saying that, if you give them time and space, they can really burn you. So the biggest thing for us is, we have to be physical. We have to protect our own net, and we also have to get to their net. We're going to have to play off the forecheck and hang on to some pucks in their O-zone so that they can't have it the entire game. But certainly we have to be physical. That's one element of our game that is going to help wear down other teams. And if we're not physical and we try and play a run up and down style of game, that's not going to suit us very well.
What when you talk about your message to some of your players and not saying a lot, what do you want to see from Brady Tkachuk as a guy who tends to, you always say, put the team on his back? Will there be a tone that's kind of set from him?
Well, I think he's ready to go. I think he's waited a long time. I think he's looked really good here in the last little bit of training camp. He's really been getting to the front of the net, and he's going to have to get on the forecheck and pound some D to let people know that if you're going to go back for pucks, he's going to hit you, and he hits you every time. And hopefully for him, that creates turnovers and creates offensive chances. So there's different ways to score in this league. There's there's forecheck into opportunity. There's also rush play. Brady's one of those guys that I think can do a bit of both. But he's a competitor, and I suspect that he'll be ready to go tonight.
Last question. I know we're hours away, but will you confirm or deny you're going to put Tim Stützle in the starting lineup?
Yeah, we'll see who they start, and then I'll adjust from there. But, it'd be great for the kid, but I got to do what's right by the team.
Al Bukowski, Sportsnet.
Hey, DJ, I know at the start of last year you had Willan penciled into your top 6 before the injury. How has he looked through camp compared to when he finished last year with you guys once he got healthy again?
You know what? He's had good moments and some bad moments, just like a lot of young kids. But the most important moment came in in his last scrimmage. I think he had a hat trick, 2 and 1 in the shootout. He broke pucks out well. He skated really well, and that's something we need from him. His offense. He can help on the power play. He can get up and down the ice. He's just got to prove he can defend in the National Hockey League. But he's someone that we're really high on, and just another young guy that's in the lineup tonight. I think we've got. Like 6-7 guys that are under 22 years old tonight, and he's one of them.
How would you describe just your level of expectation for night one, given no exhibition game, you've been going up against this yourself for the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's certainly different. You'd think Advantage Toronto being that, they've played a game and you can cut it up and, face-offs and all the little assignments that go into the National Hockey League. But in saying that, we feel we're prepared, but we got to play games to get better. So we'll be ready tonight. And, the biggest thing for us is we got to play with energy, stay out of the penalty box, and play as a team.
Final one this morning is Ian Mendez at The Athletic.
Morning, DJ. Just one question for you. And you'll have last change. What's your comfort level in putting the Norris unit out against some of the big guns for Toronto tonight?
Well, I have no. I think one of the reasons Norris is in the lineup tonight is not just his offense that he brings. He's shown an ability to play in his own zone. He's shown an ability to track pucks and be responsible. And I think, sometimes when you're young, everything tends to be put on points, assists, and power play. When ultimately, if the game's 1-1, people have to go out there and be able to defend. And he's shown an ability to be able to do that. So, Matthews plays so many minutes. More than maybe anyone in the league up front. So it's going to have to be different guys playing against him. And at some point, whether it's tonight or tomorrow night, they're going to have shifts against that line. And they're going to have to prove to be responsible. For us to get better, they're going to have to eventually play against all the best lines in the league.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.